What's up, guys? It's your boy Adel from Traders Brawl in collaboration with Web3 TV at the studio. I'm so pleased to have a new guest with me, Stefano Roberto, aka Pluto, on the Traders Brawl podcast. For those who are new, welcome to the Traders Brawl podcast. Here, this is an educational talk show where we combine fitness, financial freedom, crypto, Web3, blockchain, as well as metaverse and AI. So our new guest today is Pluto. I'm going to call you Pluto
because
it's
Pluto.
Your nickname.
Like
how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Adel. And yourself?
Yeah, good. It's great to have you on the show. We met actually through a mutual friend on Instagram, actually. And it was from that moment when we connected, he created a group chat. I reached out to you. I messaged if you would be, willing to come on the podcast and talk about what you're doing in the space. You created, you're co-founder of Ape Law.
Yes.
Which is a profound name, Ape Law, and you're wearing the Mutant shirt, right?
That's right.
Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So why don't you give us a little breakdown of how did you find yourself here in Dubai? And what you're doing at Ape Law, and how did you create Ape Law?
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're aware, like Dubai has a thing called VARA, which is the Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, and it's the first virtual assets regulatory authority in the world set up here in Dubai.
Right.
So if you want to go through the whole licensing process or be legally compliant, you go to Dubai. And I saw a massive opportunity to set up a law firm here. And look, technology and Web3 moves really quickly. So we saw a gap in the market where traditional law firms, yes, they're really good at the law and understanding the law side of things, but there's a bit of a gap or misunderstanding of the technology because it changes so quickly.
Right.
So our law firm, just to keep it really simple, is we have crypto native people who understand the law side of things and are able to adapt really quickly. So it's a really niche law firm.
Understood. Okay, so when it comes to like the kind of legal services that you provide, what are some examples? Do you deal with ICOs? Do you deal with setup of a crypto exchange? What sort of services legally do you do?
Yeah, so anything from A to Z. We can do corporate structuring. If you want to get licensed, we can do the licensing process here in Vara. If you need advice, we do things like that also. So it really depends on what stage your product is in, but we've worked with a whole range of different clients or founders. Personally, I've had some friends who are founders and they've had a really bad time with previous law firms. So I was really, I was lucky that I was in a good position that I had friends who are really good lawyers who are crypto native and decided to just pick the best lawyers, join forces and just provide amazing service to the community out there.
Right, I see now. Interesting. So how did you come up, this is probably a giveaway. How did you come up with the name Ape Law?
We have Bored Apes. So we decided to leverage the IP and we want to have a little bit of fun. So we got like the degen side of things, which is like the Ape Law, or more catering to the NFT community or the younger audience. And if you want to go more to traditional route, we have like another branded name for the more, I guess, vanilla law firm, if you want to call it that.
Right, understood. I did a podcast a while back on, the apes and what makes it so valuable. I'd like to hear your personal take on this. And what's your personal take on this whole movement, shall we call it, of aping in, buying a Bored Ape, and what that means from an NFT perspective and from a bull market perspective, I suppose. Whether it's a bull market or not, like what does it mean in general to have an ape?
To have an ape. Okay, two things, like ape in. I'm sure you know what ape in means. You just go into it and don't do any due diligence. No DYOR.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where like the ape in came in.
Yeah.
But if you look really early on in Bored Apes, a lot of the apes that joined in, they literally just aped into the project. And then we all had that common, I guess, theme. We aped into something and we found out, hey, we all aped in together. You guys are all cool. Let's build a community. And going on to the second question, it's mainly the community at the end of the day. So many projects out there. As humans, you want to find your tribe, be around like-minded individuals, be around people you like. So over time, the community just fostered and started growing and getting much larger.
Right, I see.
Finding a tribe, yeah.
Take me back to when it was before you moved to Dubai.
Yeah.
Where were you then, and what made you make the move?
Yeah. Okay, so I've been in crypto for a while now, but I've always been behind the scenes. And near the end of 2021, that's when I knew the cycle was going to start ending or things were getting way too toppy.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to chill out after this bull market and I really want to throw myself into crypto and make it like my whole life. and get a job, not get a job, and build a project around it, yeah. Because before that, I was working like another job, but I was always doing crypto on the side, and I was getting a lot more passion out of crypto. And I'm like, hey, I'm working this job, doing crypto on the side, I'm getting amazing gains. Like I get my salary in a day sometimes, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
It's paper, yeah. And I'm looking, hey, the next chapter of my life is like, I really love crypto. How can I embody this, or how can I make it more of my life? I want to provide a service, help others out there.
Right. And what were you doing before? What job were you doing before?
Okay, I was actually a lead engineer for like a startup, and had other engineers. So if you want me to get a bit technical, it's for like car stackers, like car elevators. So you drive your car into a machine, and it moves your car around.
I see.
So instead of building heaps of underground car park layers, you just have a machine which you can put your car in, and it's really space efficient.
Right.
So I was doing that, yeah.
That's cool.
And that's like the tech side of things.
So you're an engineer by background?
Yes.
I see.
Software engineer, correct.
Software engineer.
Yeah. So computer and network engineer.
Oh, I see. Interesting. So while you were doing this, I'm assuming it's a 9-to-5 job?
Yeah, at the end I automated a lot of my job.
Sorry?
Near the end of it, I started automating a lot of my job.
Oh, automating, okay.
And then I had more time to focus on crypto.
And while you were doing this job, how did you discover crypto? Was it before? When did you actually discover crypto?
Okay, my story is I actually discovered crypto in 2012.
Oh, wow.
So I used to play a game called RuneScape.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, and I used to bot my account.
Okay,
and the thing is there were free bots and paid bots. And me and my friends would start buying paid bots. The problem is you'd use PayPal. And with PayPal is if it's illegal software, PayPal is not going to honor the seller. So we're buying the bots, which are illegal software, through PayPal, and we're doing chargebacks. And the seller, they're getting screwed because like they have no grounds to sell it to us. So over a period of time, the bot owner's like, no more PayPal, we're getting screwed on this. So they started accepting Western Union. That went on for a period of time, and it wasn't really that good for the seller. Then they started accepting Bitcoin. So I had to buy Bitcoin to buy this bot.
I see.
And that's how I got into it.
Interesting.
And then I did a bit of research, and I can't remember what the price was then. Bitcoin like tanked. Let's say it was $10, it tanked to like $3.
Yeah.
That was a tank back then, yeah. And I realized doing more research, that's when it was around the time you had GPU mining. So you can mine Bitcoin with GPUs. And I did a bit of math, and I'm like, with this GPU I have now, if I mine for around 2.5 months to 3 months, it pays off my GPU. So then I got a normal job at like a fast food restaurant, worked my ass off for 2 months, quit, bought a whole stack of GPUs and started mining in my parents' garage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it.
Interesting. So it's interesting, I never found a correlation with RuneScape and Bitcoin, but,
I have a lot of friends who are traders, and they absolutely killed it in RuneScape too.
Oh.
So I found out people who really enjoyed RuneScape or did well in RuneScape, they seem to do really well in trading, because it's kind of like from a young age, you understand the virtual economy and trading and arbitrage, all those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What was the value? Just a side question. Yeah. What was the value of buying those bots for RuneScape?
The main reason I bought the bots is so I'd train accounts, and then I'd sell the accounts at school. Because I'm still in high school.
I see. So the bot would play up the ranks by itself.
Yeah, and it would play the game for you. And let's say you have like a skill, it would start getting your skill in higher levels. And then I'm selling those accounts at school.
I see.
To my mates.
That's so interesting. That's so jokes as well. Even the bot itself, would it ever die? As in?
Yes, every now and then the game will have updates.
I see.
And sometimes it will break the bot, And obviously the game publishers, they hate people who use bots.
Use bots, right? Because
So they have anti-countermeasures or anti-bot detection.
I see. Interesting. So, cool. So that's when you discovered cryptocurrencies back in 2012, and then what made you start actually like holding and hodling?
At the start, I didn't really care too much about it. I was just like mining it. It was cool. Around 2013, I remember being like still a young kid. I bought an iPhone 5 on release day for 80 Bitcoin. So I remember that day really well, because I felt like the coolest kid in school. Fresh new iPhone, no one has it yet, and I just paid for this outright myself. In hindsight, if I didn't buy that iPhone, it'd be worth a lot more now, but I'm cool with that. Because like
80 Bitcoin?
80.
80?
Yes.
Wow, 80 Bitcoin.
So I sold each for around $12 each. I've got some hard drives that I used to mine my Bitcoin in. I have no idea where they are, completely lost.
Whoa,
got stories like that,
wow. So, right off the back of that, like
Yeah.
once you started understanding, when did it hit you that you started understanding like what Bitcoin could be?
Honestly, when I started buying the bots, and it sounds a bit funny, but you couldn't do chargebacks with the Bitcoin, and understanding it's like, hey, it's a currency that you can carry around you anywhere you are in the world. So just have it on the pen drive. So then I'm like, hey, this is cool. This is digital.
Sorry, how did you store the Bitcoin back then?
I had it on my hard drive, literally. Just
Okay.
on a hot wallet.
You had a wallet.
A hot wallet,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the wallet? It was
just Bitcoin Core.
Bitcoin Core.
Yeah, the Core program, yeah.
Oh wow.
It's the Core wallet, that's it.
This is like really OG.
Yeah,
level.
the original wallet, yeah.
The original wallet. Did you have? I've never created an account, so
It would take ages. You had to download all the blocks for you to sync with the entire network. So some days, like let's say I want to transfer Bitcoin, I'd have to leave the computer on for like maybe 2 days to sync all the blocks.
Wow. Those were the days.
Yeah, those were the days.
Okay, I see. And that itself, how did the interface look like?
Well, it's just like a really simple interface. You got like the balance here, recent transactions on the right. That's it.
That's it.
If you just Google Bitcoin Core, that wallet, yeah.
Oh, I've got to check this out.
Yeah, you do.
That's great. And then now fast forward to today. You've launched. When did you launch Ape Law?
Around middle of this year, yeah. So I arrived in Dubai in May.
This year.
Pretty fresh.
What made you make the move from? And where were you before this?
Australia.
Australia. What made you make the move from Australia to
Australia's not, I guess, very forward thinking with crypto projects. They're not providing clarity. It's not a safe place for founders to build. So I'm like, where's the next place I can go, which is more forward thinking, more accepting of crypto, and sees that it's really going to be the future. And that's obviously Dubai. First places they want to regulate it, yeah. The rest of the world's still trying to figure it out.
Right. Are you since Ape Law is a legal service, are you a lawyer yourself?
I'm not a lawyer, no. I've got lawyers underneath me. I'm more the tech side of things, yeah.
I see. Okay.
So I understand technology. If the lawyers don't understand something, I'll break it down to them. I'm normally the front-facing person that talks with the founders or the really technical guys. I help with advice, advisory. Does this tech stack work for you guys? What are the holes that could have legal holes or whatnot? And then, because sometimes like the lawyers, I understand their things really well, but there might be little areas or gaps of knowledge that they don't understand. And that's where I really fill in, bring in the value. Because like lawyers mesh with tech, and that's like the synergy we have inside our firm. So we're able to move quick.
So it's a startup right now, would you say?
That's right.
It's a startup.
It's 4 of us. So it's me, I've got three lawyers underneath.
And all based in Dubai?
All in Dubai, yes.
All in Dubai.
Amazing lawyers too.
Very nice.
Really passionate in the space.
Right. Have you got an office as well?
No, we're completely remote, so low overhead, so you don't get wrecked in high legal fees, you know?
Love that language. So now that you're based here, what are your sort of plans next with Ape Law? So is it trying to get as many clients as possible, trying to build a name? What are the priorities?
I wouldn't say try to get as many clients, work with the right clients and try to really provide value and ensure that we provide maximum value to the clients we work with, and slowly grow over time. Because when a bull market hits, when it rains, it pours,
Right, when it rains, it pours. Well, let's talk now about the current sentiment, the current market sentiment that we're seeing. Are we in a bull market?
We're definitely getting a lot more risk on. For me, personally, a bull market starts after the Bitcoin breaks all-time high.
So which is what?
I wait,
70,000, 69,000.
69,000. So wait for the Bitcoin halving. Normally, like if you look in the past, anywhere from a couple of months, then Bitcoin breaks all-time highs. That's when I see alts just going mad, going absolutely nuts. That's when if you want to go heavy on longs, go for it.
Okay. So right now, since we're at 41, 40K, we're not yet at a bull market, would you say? What would you say?
It's a lot more risk on, For me, bull markets, like you've got all the normal retail flowing in. So that's my, I guess, definition of a bull market.
Okay, no, that's good.
Like I'm starting to get some normal people ask me about crypto.
Right.
When I've got all the normal people starting to ask me about crypto and it starts going to the news, that's when it's like proper bull market territory.
And when it comes, are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? What kind of trading person
swing
are you?
trade. I'm not a day trader. I guess over time, as you get better, you realize less is more. So you take less trades, but higher, more conviction bets.
And what platform do you use to trade, to make your trades?
It depends. Like sometimes you want to be completely decentralized. So you got like RabbitX, you got GMX, DYDX.
Sushi Swap?
Oh, you can use Sushi Swap, yeah, also.
Yeah.
Or if you want to use Bybit, you want to use a centralized exchange. Yes. Or Binance, depending on where you KYC'd. There's many exchanges you can use. I'm a bit diversified over, yeah.
Okay. And do you have like do you follow any trading signals, moving averages? What do you follow?
I'm really simple. I just do PA, so support and resistance. And I have some momentum indicators that I've used, I've created myself.
Okay.
And I'm more on the FA side of things, fundamental and analysis. Yeah.
Okay,
and I really like narrative trading too. That's worked really well for me.
What's narrative trading for the audience?
Yeah, so let's say there's a narrative playing out there, like for example, decentralized perps exchanges.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so all these decentralized perps exchanges start pumping because that's a current narrative. Or GameFi is a current narrative right now. So all GameFi.
So like
projects.
trending.
Yeah, trending. Yeah, that's it.
I see.
And you see what the certain story is going throughout CT and then online.
And then invest based on it.
Yeah, and position yourself accordingly. Like join the narrative, or if once you have a bit more experience, you will know what the different narratives will go on throughout the cycle and position before the narrative hits.
That's another point I wanted to raise. When the narrative already hits, do you find that sometimes you're too late, or do you find that there's still opportunities to ape in, as we say?
There's always opportunity, yeah. It depends how late you are in the cycle.
Right. Because as soon as you hear the news of it breaking out, then you're like, oh, I missed it.
You missed the pump, yeah.
You missed the pump.
There's I forgot what the quote is. It's like winners average winners, losers average losers. So let's say something's showing strength early on in the cycle, it's most likely going to show strength later on in the cycle. So let's look at the last few months. Look at the coins that have been showing a lot of strength during the bear market. Like for example, Solana.
Right.
Then now look deep in Solana. Look at the developer community. Things like that, you already know it's kind of going to go well in the next cycle.
Right, yeah. So definitely traction and definitely trading volume, things to look for, these are basic metrics to look at. But also, when you hear news like CZ being fined 50 million, Binance being fined for money laundering, then you hear this news. What were the first thoughts that were going through your head when you heard? Did you anticipate any correction in the markets?
I was obviously looking at the price and seeing how much it would dump, and it barely did anything. So I'm like, for me, that was bullish.
Yeah.
As weird as it sounds.
I was a bit surprised.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, the market's showing a lot more strength, and I guess we kind of saw it coming because like all the anticipation, the news events in the past, we knew something was going to happen with Binance. They were going to get some sort of fine. They're just going to pay it off. CZ honorably stepped down. So he's looking for the greater good of the crypto market.
Right, and it shows that if the regulators wanted, to really kill Binance, they could have, but they didn't. So it means that
maybe they tried.
Or maybe they tried.
Yeah, I think they tried.
But the fact that I think Binance, hiring appointing a new CEO, shows that they're here to stay.
Of course.
And that means that crypto is here to stay. Which means there is a future in crypto, and it's not just fake, and because it's untangible. Like, what are your thoughts when people say, what do you say to criticisms when critics that say that crypto is untangible?
Yeah.
It's not tangible.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Two things. First, like look at their age, their experiences shapes their worldview. So I have a really easy saying that I say to my friends. Imagine you're like a dad and you have like a 6-year-old kid. And you go to your 6-year-old kid and you're like, hey son, do you want a Fortnite skin worth 300,000? Or do you want a house worth 300,000? That kid, what do you think that kid's gonna value more?
Skin.
The skin, yeah. Why? Because it's a virtual asset, It has more value to him in his eye. Because that's how he's shaped, that's his worldview, right. Okay? So older people, we didn't necessarily have that from a young age. Yeah. So that's their worldview, they don't understand it. Right. If you go to a younger kid, everything's like digital to them. So they value it from day one. And they're going to be the future. They might not have much liquidity now, but once they're older, that's like the worldview they have, and they're going to start growing and start building and things like that. Does that make sense?
Of course.
That's how I look at it as. Like, look at the younger generation, look at the future that they envision.
Right. And then what do you say to those that say, for example, when you have people like, Elon Musk tweeting and putting Dogecoin as his profile picture and Dogecoin shoots up. Yeah. What do you say to that? Like, nobody does that with the, S&P 500 or individual stocks. But why do we see this with crypto? And does that send a bad message to the crypto community?
Of course, look, if you have random meme coins pumping, like I do not financial advice, I would not go
not
to
financial advice.
I would not put the house on meme coins, let's just say that, Just having a bit of fun. it's unregulated market, so don't like put a lot of money into unregulated items or cryptocurrencies.
Right. And for the audience, again, unregulated means that if you were to lose the value of your money, cryptocurrency, you would not be refunded in any shape, way, or form. There's no insurance on it, so you cannot make a claim to claim them back. And unregulated also means that there's no oversight. Right, these are coins that are purely, completely, to some extent, I'd say, completely based on hype and supply and demand. But communities on Reddit, online, meme coins are, that's where they were given birth from. But some actually have some value. In the beginning, they may start off as a meme coin, but over time, as the community grows, there can be a change of vision and a change of white paper even. An update to it. So I think with that said, there's a space for meme coins in investment portfolios, but just a small amount from the pie chart.
Sure thing. And if they're unregulated, to put it simply, if they rug, who's going to be held accountable? Who's going to be fined?
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
That is another one. Yeah.
If they rug, you lose all your money. Who's going to be punished?
No one. You can't because it's unregulated, and they warned you about it very, very explicitly.
Some don't even warn you.
Some don't even warn you.
Even worse.
Lose at your own risk. Wow. Okay. Great. This is interesting stuff. A question about going forward. So we think we're on our way to the bull run. And it looks like we're on our way. Things are looking up. We're seeing some seas of green, which is
green candles.
Green candles for some time.
You've seen the meme, has got the green candles. Blazer.
So does this mean the resurrection of NFTs as well?
How many cycles has NFTs been through?
Not that many.
Pretty much one.
One, right?
Yeah, that's it. So obviously, with most cycles, 99% of alts go to zero. There's always going to be that 1% that hold it through. Let's look at Bitcoin really early on. The first few cycles, how many alts were saying they were going to be a Bitcoin killer? How many survived? Okay, now let's go to the next few cycles. Ethereum. Last cycle, how many Ethereum killers were there? A lot. Luna, how many of them lasted? Not too many. Okay, now you got NFTs. So look at the blue chip NFT projects. They're going to last the test of times if they provide utility and know how to really connect with their community and provide value. There's going to be heaps of NFT projects that die or that have already gone to zero. The next cycle is like the next wave of innovation.
Right, I see. When it comes to utility, how do you actually, from your personal perspective, assuming you're an NFT collector as well as a swing trader, but how do you view utility in the NFT world?
Really depends on the project. Some project utility can be as simple as I'm just part of this exclusive group. That's enough utility for me. It's gatekept. That could be utility for one project. Really simple, but it's the truth, Humans like status.
Right.
So if we have an NFT and we know other people can't get it, we feel good.
We feel good, don't we?
Yeah.
God, this is
the truth, huh?
No, unfortunately. It's like I can buy this handbag for like 35,000 plus, Hermes. Oh, I feel good now.
Or you go to my house and you see Fidenza, you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Like that.
Right, yeah. Or a Petit Philippe. But you can use all kinds of examples. But I guess you're saying that utility is purely subjective.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any baseline, would you say, that there's some standards of utility that should be met? Or is that...
I mean, some projects don't even have utility. It's just speculation. Let's say art. If you look at a piece of art, what utility does that have to you?
Being personally, I'm not so much into art.
Exactly,
But for some others, they might view it as, oh, look, it brings me happiness.
It's subjective, Some people see value in it, other people don't see value in it.
Yeah.
It really depends on the project. Do you want to have a massive audience and have a massive utility?
Right.
It depends really what you're trying to offer.
Right.
It could be as simple as hey, if you have this project, you get, let's say it's a basketball team, you have lifetime membership to all the tickets. Something like that. That could be really simple.
No, of course, that would be very valuable.
Yeah.
Right, lifetime tickets, because each ticket, if you value the price of each ticket, that's
over time.
100%. Exclusivity as well, in the sense that you get invited to these yacht parties, for example, because you're an owner of the ape.
Yeah.
It's a good way of congregating, connecting, social networking, and things like that. So there are great human to human based benefits there. that to me is actually more valuable because there's a human element of connecting, and that's something I really hold deeply inside. So yeah, I really look forward to the blue chip NFT projects. I look forward to seeing what they roll out, what they have in the pipeline. Do you have any particular ones that you're eyeing on at the moment?
Obviously, I'm really well positioned on Yuga Labs. I'm also looking at like Azuki, recently in Solana, Mad Labs. So I'm looking a lot more in the Solana ecosystem now.
Okay.
And just seeing which projects are gonna are doing things differently or gonna withstand the test of time.
Okay, interesting. And do you see it as when you're investing in different, like you mentioned Azuki, you might mention so Yuga Labs, you got your Bored Ape, your Mutant Ape. Is there much diversification when it comes to NFTs? I know there are different projects, sure, but Ethereum, Solana, Polygon. If Bitcoin tanks, don't they all tank too? And does that mean you're really diversified?
Go back to 2021. Right. Look at when Bitcoin broke the last all-time high. It started going down. Bitcoin was in a downtrend, and NFTs was just still pumping. Yeah, it was a bit of a lag.
I may have missed that.
A bit of a lag, a bit of a delay, because NFTs topped near the top of 2022.
Okay.
When Bitcoin was more the end of 2021, so it was a delay.
But after that delay, it all tanked as well.
Yeah, it started tanking. Yeah.
Right. So then, does that mean they are correlated?
Everything's gonna go. Well, all crypto goes through a bear market at the same time.
Goes to the same time.
There's no not yet. There hasn't been crypto as an altcoins going to bear market, and NFTs in a bull market, a massive gap. No, I haven't seen that yet. Right.
I
don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, so
everything follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like the king.
Bitcoin is the king. So it remains to be seen whether. So would you say then it's kind of difficult or a challenge to remain diversified if all your crypto holdings are in crypto? All your holdings are in crypto, because if Bitcoin tanks, everything tanks. Would you say it's hard to diversify?
At the start, I think the biggest issue I see a lot of people have, they have way too many alts, way too many projects. So how are you meant to keep track of different industries going up and down? Yeah. That's a big struggle, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Yeah. So I highly recommend to have like a group of mates or join a community. And
one thing I've noticed from peers of mine in my circle of friends, right? They're all into crypto, and they're all into investing in lucrative projects themselves, but they're in it, from my perspective, I see that they're in it for the money, 100% for the money. But when you see in an ICO launch of a new token, they're explaining all the benefits of this token, why you should hodl it, use it, and things like that. I'm not seeing even myself or my peers actually using the full utility of it. They're just in it for the money, and that's it. You can use this to buy this, and then you can exchange it for this, and you get value. But it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect between the white paper, what they're claiming that you can do with this, do it, use it, and people actually investing in them. I feel they're just investing it for the money. Do you find that to be the case, or do you find that people are actually using and keeping it and using the token for actual utilities said in the white paper?
There's always going to be people that are in it for the money. There's no lie in that. I think that I like to look at the people who are really early in DeFi, before Uniswap had the airdrop. The people that are just using DeFi, trying it out. Right. Those are the people like, hey, we believe this is going to be the future, let's test it out. Right. And those are normally the people that get rewarded the best. Right. If you just focus on the money, you're going to be looking at the metrics. How much money is this going to make? Yeah. You're not going to be thinking, hey, this protocol or app I'm using, holy cow, it's really cool. I think this is going to be in the future. You're going to completely miss that, because you're going to look at it and be like, there's no financial reward if I'm trying a new app now. Right. And I feel that. Miss that. Like, I'll give you an example how I got into Apes. Yeah. Really simple. Early 2021, people were flipping CryptoPunks, and I'd go in CT, and let's say 1 in 50 people had a CryptoPunk. Okay, I saw, hey, that guy's using the CryptoPunk as his digital identity. And it's a funny story. When Bored Apes were being minted, at the time with my ex-partner, I had no crypto for that weekend, so I remember putting my phone on airplane mode, wake up in the morning, and a lot of my friends minted Bored Apes. Oh no. But what I noticed, the reason I got into it is remember I told you 1 in 50 people in CT were a CryptoPunk? I started seeing 30 and 50 people have a Bored Ape. I'm like, okay, these guys are buying an NFT.
How much do they cost, sorry?
Oh, I got in about 0.5 ETH, 0.5, 0.3 ETH.
0 dots, 0.03.
Yes.
That's amazing.
No, 0.3 ETH.
Okay, 0.3.
Yeah. So about $1,000.
Oh, that's really, really good.
Yeah, missed out in the mint, but it's all good.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not even the money thing. It's mainly the, I understood the whole digital identity thing.
Right.
Like, when my friends try asked me to explain it, I explain it like this. Imagine you have like a 4-year-old and you give your 4-year-old a teddy bear.
Right.
And then they grow up to be 7 years old. How hard is it to take away that teddy bear? Super hard.
Hard,
yeah.
right?
Super
Because
hard,
they lived with it all their life.
Imagine someone uses an NFT as their digital identity and they have it for a year. And that's them online.
Yeah,
How
of course.
hard is it for them to sell?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So that's what we saw when we saw the ape community really early on. And then we started positioning, and that was that really simple thesis. People are going to adopt this as a digital identity. And we're like, it's going to take 2 to 3 years to play out. It took 6 months, but still, do you understand how we had that thesis?
Yeah.
Everyone else who aped in to try to make money, it went sideways for a couple of months.
Right.
You would have been shaken out if you're just in it for the money. If you didn't see the vision, you would have been like, why would I hold these apes when all these alts are pumping? I'd sell the ape and go into the alts. And that's what a lot of people did.
Interesting. It's funny how NFTs have sort of manifested themselves to be an identity.
Yeah, or you could use it as identity. People have digital versions of themselves. I'm sure you've met people on Instagram with lots of followers. They're like one identity online.
Yeah.
You meet them in person,
You're like
completely different person. Whoa, what the hell?
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
Right. Right. Interesting. Really interesting stuff. And another thing I wanted to mention as well is, do you participate in any ICOs?
Not presently, but I participated in IDOs in the past, yeah.
Okay, IDOs in the past. Reason for mentioning is maybe this is to do with me calling out how ICOs and how marketing is done, because in the run up to an ICO, a lot of marketing, a lot of investment is, takes place before it's listed on an exchange. And even when after it's listed on an exchange, you see all these ads and things like that. Now, as soon as they're already listed, they're done, the listing is done, it's like
quiet.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
They're on the market, they're listed now, but I'm not seeing trading volume going as much. I'm not seeing if many people have actually invested in them. It's one thing to list, it's another thing to actually get people to invest. And I feel there's still a bit of a disconnect at times. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it depends. Like, they're raising money to what? Build.
Right.
So it doesn't take like a day to build.
Yeah.
So they raise the money, like, okay, we've got the money now. Okay, now let's figure out how we're going to build this.
Right.
And that takes months.
Yeah.
It's not something quick. And you got to also look at the people who invested in the IDO on the raise.
Yes.
If they're just in it for speculation, then they're in it for speculation.
Right.
It's going to pump a bit and everyone's going to start dumping their bags.
And then done.
And the price might be wrecked. So that's where an IDO can be bad if you don't create the IDO in the right way.
Right.
Or you don't have the right tokenomics.
And
you make that mistake.
Which all comes down to value, like community as well. Community is one thing, but value, if you don't have value, community will eventually leave.
And if you just do it for hype, then you gotta be honest with yourself. We're hyping the hell out of this. What happens after the hype dies? What are you left with? What have you built? What's the structure, the foundation you've set?
Right. Going into 2024, what are some things that you're most, some coins that you'd like to share that you're most bullish about?
Yeah, so I'll just say high level, like obviously Solana, and then the Solana ecosystem. They've already had some airdrops, like Jito airdrop. I'm looking a lot more into Cosmos ecosystem also.
Okay.
Because I saw, I don't know if you're too aware about Cosmos, as a thing called IBC, so inter-blockchain communication.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Instead of having bridges, the different blockchains can communicate with each other.
Okay, so making them interoperable.
Yeah, so you don't need a bridge.
Right.
So I saw this, this is another, I guess, theory or framework I use with my friends. Sometimes when you invest, you have to see if you're 2 steps ahead of everyone else or 10 steps ahead. And when you understand how many steps ahead you are, that will help you position accordingly and have the patience. Because let's say you know something's going to be in the future, or you're really predicting it'll be in the future in 5 years, and you invest in it, holding it flatline for 4 years, that's not easy. You're going to see all your friends' projects pop off. Versus if you know something's going to be in the future in maybe a year or 2, then you can position a bit differently. So Cosmos was like a good example of that in the last cycle. Like I understood that, but a lot of the other people didn't understand the issues with bridges yet. So I'd still invest in bridges. I rode that wave, but I know this isn't going to last.
Right.
And I'm sure you saw how many bridges got
Because we have a
hacked.
solution to the bridge now.
Yeah.
So Cosmos, the blockchain of Cosmos are providing that.
Yes, the different chains can communicate with each other. And now you've got other solutions like Layer 0, Chainlink's got its own communication system, things like that. Better solutions compared to old school bridges, which have been hacked and hella dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Oh, really good stuff. You mentioned a bit, what was it, IBC?
IBC, yeah.
Could you talk, for the audience, could you talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, as in like...
what's the value of it?
Like I said, with bridges, you have the risk because you got the third party holding the funds.
Right.
And if you're communicating with different blockchains, it's like a translator. Imagine two different people speaking different language.
Yeah.
There's a risk or error that the translator can mess something up.
True.
Same thing as a bridge. But imagine if we could communicate natively.
So getting rid of the bridge, getting rid of the intermediary.
Yeah, imagine we could communicate natively. Then there's a lot less risk of things.
So what are some use cases of communicating directly using chains?
Okay, let's say I've got money in one chain and I want to move it to another chain.
Right.
I have to keep on bridging it, paying fees, waiting for the bridge to go really slow.
Right, yeah.
Things like that. Like if you going back to early 2021, I had really bad experiences with bridges, like bridging from ETH to Polygon.
Right, yeah.
An old school bridge.
Right.
And sometimes it would take hours.
Okay.
And like more than 6 hours, my money didn't go through. And having to go on Telegram, devs do something. You know?
Right.
Oh no. So I went through those experiences and then started seeing bridges get hacked. I'm like, this is not the way forward, no way. There needs to be something more native.
So are we at a stage where we can now...
yeah, there's a lot of solutions.
Right, you can actually sell ETH and get Polygon directly.
I don't know what the technicals are right now, but there are, I know Layer 0 is being built out now, like the solutions in Cosmos. So if you start using Cosmos, you'll realize how easy it is to move your funds throughout the Cosmos ecosystem. There's a DEX called Osmosis, and it's like one of the central DEX for Cosmos. So I'll give you an example. There's a chain called Celestia, and let's say the Cosmos chain, Atom. So you can transfer funds between both chains really easy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you have time, have a play around with it.
No, 100%. At the moment, I mean, I don't see a need to change to use, have interoperability yet, because whenever I get paid, and if let's say I want to pay them, they just in their wallet they have an address for it. If they were to not have an address for, let's say, Polygon, I'm being paid in Polygon, and their wallet does not have Polygon, they only have USDT, USDC. Then in that case, I would need that service. I have Polygon, I'd like to send you Polygon, or I have to change into USDTs to match you. But say I didn't want to have to match you, and I just wanted to be able to send my Polygon to you in one go, less hassle. That's where this would be applied. Is that right? Yeah,
it could be a solution to applying that. Yeah, for sure. There's other exchanges that you can send funds to, and it'll convert it to you, and then send it as another currency to your the person you're sending it to. There's other solutions that already do that as well, but they have a bit of a fee. Right,
of course. There's always going to be fees because that's the business model.
Yeah,
how they operate.
Think about someone having USDC in one chain and having to move the USDC from one chain to another chain. How much of a pain that could be. Okay, now let's think a little bit differently. Imagine there was just a USDC chain, and all the different chains could talk to the USDC chain.
Yeah.
So that means all the different chains you have that stablecoin and all the chains that can communicate with it. Now I don't have to worry about bridging and all these fees and things like that.
No doubt it would make it a lot smoother. Yeah. And 100%. Now, going into 2024, you mentioned some of your top picks in cryptos. Where do you see Bitcoin's price prediction at?
I'm gonna be really safe and conservative.
It's conservative?
Yeah, let's go around 100K.
100K?
You want to be a bit more risk on, you go about 150K, yeah.
150K 2024?
Yeah, start putting the fib levels and then you'll see the levels that I'm probably looking at, yeah.
Okay. By what month?
Oh, it really depends on how things go.
Right.
Normally, my experience is near the end of the year, 2025, yeah.
Right.
But it depends how fast the cycle is, how slow it goes. The catalyst, the news, things like that, they all change it.
So you really think it's going to hit like 150K?
Yeah.
Really?
Over 100K, around 100K or 150K.
Damn.
Because like when it's really exponential, yeah.
Really
It might
nice.
even just hit 110K.
Really?
It really depends.
Because last time we had this talk that we were all thinking that it would hit 100K.
It was a meme.
Right, it stopped at 69.
Yeah.
And then went all to hell.
Tanked down.
Tanked.
Yeah.
What happened then? Why is this time different?
It could. No one knows the answer. Let's be honest with you. You know? Yeah.
Right.
But if you just if you do basic TA, just look at the RSI levels.
Right.
You know, like the divergences.
Right.
When Bitcoin hit the all-time high, around 65K. When it hit 65K again, it was not like super overbought. It was kind of low, the RSI level.
The RSI level.
Yeah.
So that was an indicator, an early indicator.
That was an early indicator for me, yeah. And you
Okay.
can also use MACD. The MACD was going down also.
Okay.
So I saw that, I'm like, okay, cool. Be very wary. But that's not bad, because when Bitcoin goes down, you see funds trickle down into alts.
But
And that's when alts start ripping, yeah.
do you find as well that sometimes the MACD and the RSI levels can also, rather, while they are indicators, they don't always mean what they are. As in,
Yeah.
they may be high or maybe low, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to follow on, right? Have there been
100%.
instances like that for you?
Yeah, it's just an indicator. It's an indicator I use to look at other indicators. And then the main thing for me is looking at sentiment in the market.
Right.
And look, when Bitcoin set the second all-time high, another thing I looked at is like how many people were entering the market.
Okay.
And I found like how many more people can enter the market. And it felt like everyone and their dog and cat was entering Bitcoin at the time.
Right. Okay.
Like I had a joke, one of my friends who's a banker, and he said old people were coming to him asking how to buy Bitcoin. And for me, that was a top signal.
Yeah. Sick. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
Like think about it, if everyone's bought it,
Yeah.
who else is left to buy it? Nobody. So you just got people selling now. What happens
Right.
when you have more sellers than buyers? Price go down.
High school.
Yeah.
Right. Do you see like is your advice to hodl?
Not financial advice at all, but it depends how you play it. If you're long term, invest in long term projects and DCA over long term. Don't just ape in.
Dollar cost average, just for the audience.
Oh yeah, DCA,
Yeah.
dollar cost average. Yeah, don't just ape in. And if your friend's saying, "Oh my God, this coin's ripped 10%," do a bit of research.
Right.
You know, look into it. Look in your other options. That's why I say normally, if you want to invest in crypto, look at the top 10 crypto coins, alts. Do a bit of research. Understand how the technology works. Actually use the technology. Don't just buy something you have no idea about. Like an example was in the last cycle, I'm sure you heard about the metaverse, how everything was pumping super hard.
Sure.
All you have to do is go in Decentraland and see how many people are online.
Yeah.
And be like, this thing's worth billions.
Right.
And there's like 100 people online.
Right.
Maybe it's a bit overvalued.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I
Yeah.
went in and I'm like, okay, the top's going to be in soon because it's way overvalued.
What are your thoughts on Decentraland?
I mean, metaverse is cool. Like, look at the younger generation of kids. Like I said, they're growing up with VR headsets,
Right.
all those things. So
Right.
that's like the future to them. It's normal to them. But yeah, I was trying out Decentraland, Sandbox, all those things really early on also, just to see like where it's going. And then they're staying the test of time. They're innovating, they're building. So good on them.
So, are you still bullish on Decentraland and the metaverse-based blockchain tokens?
I'm not personally positioned in that, yeah. So my trading investment strategy is a little bit different. If that's your flavor and that works for you, more power to you, yeah.
Right.
So I'd rather than me be in many different, I guess, sectors, I try to be like an expert on a few sectors because then I'm really good at that rather than be like spread out thin. Like I said, some people have like 70 altcoins.
Right.
How are you meant to manage that? Good luck, my friend.
Right. Just so I get this question out the way, which is
go.
also kind of comedy.
Yeah, go.
Are you a whale?
Am I a whale?
Yeah.
I can't disclose that. I'm a sea lion.
That means you are.
I'm a sea lion if you want to ask.
What's a sea lion compared to
a small little fish.
small little fish?
Small little fish, you know.
Okay. Interesting. We're about to wrap up. Final question. Who, in your opinion, is Satoshi Nakamoto?
I'll never know.
Do you have a guess?
Oh, I can't guess that.
Can't
man.
guess.
Yeah.
No.
No way.
Some people actually say.
Actually, I don't think it's one person. I think it's a group of people.
Right, of course. For me, that was a given. But do you think as well that some actually say it was the CIA, or it is the CIA?
Maybe. Who knows? But if it's the CIA, then they've lost power of this and it's going against them now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because the reason is because, you know, firstly, the World Wide Web was created by the US government.
So also, Tor. Have you seen Tor? It's created by the Navy.
Yeah, Tor. Yeah, of course. So if you, Tor as well and World Wide Web, this sort of, for me, or to some, it might suggest that, like, who are the pioneers behind this, right? It's the US government, to some extent. And so behind Bitcoin, some theorists theorize that it's by the CIA. What do you make of that?
Maybe we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah,
really.
unless they dox themselves. Doesn't look like they're doxing anytime soon.
No, it doesn't look like
So
it.
how are we going to know? And they don't want a KYC as well, so.
Exactly. better keep it that way. Cool. Yeah. That was, thank you so much for this insightful interview. I want to say as well that I think this was very educational. I think good to know, you know, like you said, your research, and good to know how it was back in 2012.
Yeah, and just a quick thing, I'm going to start sharing my research and my picks online now. So I've been underneath the covers, and this cycle I want to come on forward and educate more users. So if you want to check out my socials, I'm going to start sharing some educational things and help people be more aware so they don't get wrecked.
Very good.
Cycle. Yeah.
I think that's what we could all use right now. 100%. Healthy dose of, you know, educational content and not doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling, yeah.
Right, which we all find ourselves a victim to.
And then the most important thing is being part of a community of people and learning with them. Yeah, don't do this alone. That's a mistake I made.
Right.
I was too quiet. I was alone by myself. The moment I started getting more friends involved, sharing my lessons, sharing my losses, that's when I started progressing a lot better.
Okay, fantastic.
So that's the one chip of advice I would say. Don't do crypto alone.
Fantastic. Sure. And for the audience's sake, since you're planning to do this, what's the best way that the audience can reach out to you?
Yeah, so on my Twitter, so 0xpluto. Right. So just follow me there, and then I'm going to start putting videos on YouTube soon.
YouTube as well?
Yeah, so I'm going to start filming next month.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. You got it set up and everything already?
Yeah, we're setting it up
right now.
Yeah, so this is like a bit of a taste, so I get the feel of things. Yeah.
Very good. Is it going to be like a vlog, monologue style podcast?
We'll see what works.
We'll see what works.
First, we would put a lot on Twitter and a couple of videos on YouTube, and then see what my audience likes the most and see what provides them the most value.
I think as well as in the run up to this, we could do a Twitter space. Because I do Twitter spaces as well.
100%, man. I'm down for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, mate.
Awesome. Stefano Pluto, thank you so much for this insightful interview. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to have you on, and I can't wait to do a Twitter space with you, so thank you. Thank you so much for watching. This is Adel here with Traders Brawl from and Web3 TV at the studio. Keep following the page. Stay tuned for the release of the podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.